Hi, I'm Cindy Costales, Senior Librarian at the Monterey Park Bruggemeyer Library. I'm here today with Barry Liu, Lieutenant Commander Barry Liu with the United States Navy. Yesterday at the library we had a wonderful program. It's a veterans program celebrating Chinese American military service. And we have a great display here in the Friends room that Barry's going to talk about and make us more aware of Chinese Americans in military service. So Barry, I see that here we have a lot of different panels, and let's start.
Also have flags.
And flags. It's very patriotic in our Friends room today. What can you share with us about CAMS first?
Sure.
Because I really learned a lot yesterday about CAMS.
I quickly introduce myself to start at this. Again, my name is Lieutenant Commander Barry Liu, U.S. Navy. I actually graduated in China. I moved to the States 1991, and I joined the service 1992. So it's been a little while. And I didn't really find there's a lot of Asian, especially Chinese descent and in the military here to start with. But now I see all kinds of different people from all over the world, from Taiwan, Hong Kong, you name it. But they all share with the same background. And we're all fighting with the same goal and loyal to the nation here. And for that, we trying to do some shows and form a nonprofit organization and share with the rest of the community. CAMS, it stands for Chinese American Military Support. It was established 2002 when the Iraq War started. All the family members, you imagine that the parents don't speak English, they find their daughter and the son just disappeared. They said, "Oh, mom and dad, I'm going to Iraq next couple of days," and they panic. So we formed this group and start doing the service for them. And now it turned out to be all the soldiers, the warrior returned. And then we wanted this community to recognize them, and we wanted the people continue serve for our nation. And that's why we have this photo show here.
Well, that's great. The photo show that Barry's talking about is called Return Warriors, and the photo show will be on exhibit at the Monterey Park Bruggemeyer Library for a month here at the library, and so we want to encourage everyone to come down and see it. We are going to take a look at that after we've surveyed everything here.
Started with this section. This is a care package drive we did earlier in 2011. As a military tradition, during the Christmas time, they always sending a package from their family, the church people, to those soldiers in the front. And we did it in a little bit Chinese way. So instead of Christmas, we sent in the Chinese Lunar New Year for the package. Last year, we did about 150 outreach to different soldiers. Most of them are Chinese background, but there's Asia, there's other people as well. They're in Iraq, Afghanistan, Germany, you name it, pretty much everywhere in the globe. And of course, this is very important to give the best morale and give support to our soldiers who are fighting and risk their life on a daily basis in the front, protect our nation. And when we do it again, I hopefully getting support from the local people too.
That's wonderful. Now, what I learned yesterday at the program was there's so many different stories of people that are involved, that were here at the library in uniform. And what can you share with us?
Well, you can see Marine flag and the Navy flag in the background. This is a joint logistic service picture. You see our president of the CAMS, Lieutenant Commander Arthur Fang, was there in Kuwait. There's other people you can see in different office. Well, this is not a war zone, but again, everybody doing different job, try to support the nation. I think they move thousands of tanks, supply to the war zone. And you never forget about those people when they are, not really shooting guns, but they are in the area, in the theater of fighting the war. Then here we have the pictures when they returned. You can see our president was in the President Obama's inauguration ceremony last year, 2009. And we have soldiers to attend all kinds of different conference, ceremonies, parades, just trying to tell people what we're doing. And of course, this is just part of the picture we're showing. Actually, total we have 148 so far. We think we can come up with 300 in no time. And this photo show will grow as we make it to the public and the more people have the awareness that we really want to put out. But now next one we come to a very important section of the photo show. I know in the past 10 years, the Iraq War, we have thousands of American soldiers laid alive in the foreign land and return in a flag wrapped in a coffin. So sad about that, but including some Chinese soldiers as well. Here we displayed about just a few. The earliest one we see is Victor Liu here. He has a book right here, recognize all his contribution to the service. And then Henry Liu, who happens to be the nephew of Congresswoman Judy Chu. Imagine a congresswoman has a friend, family members fighting the war and died over there. So there's all kinds of other people. I want to mention our friend who has Asian background, Army Sergeant James Witkowski. There's a little list we have here, but about 4 or 5 people we know that associated with the organization that we know they died in the war zone. But in general, I know when you're looking at the USA Today, they posted all the soldiers that was died. I find a couple of the Asian last name. I just don't know how to get them. I don't know how to reach them. Maybe their family are urgent for this kind of information. That's why we try to do this in public and bring the more awareness to the society, and also gathering important friends that can supporting our mission, which is supporting our total nation here. So, this is so important, and I guess whoever's watching this video, don't just watching it, pass the message on, and let more people knowing it. Maybe your friends do have a son and daughter fighting the war just like we do, but they don't know the organization is existing, or they don't know who to talk to.
That's very good the way you explained it. Is it possible for you to share that in Chinese? I think it would be really important.
Sure. 各位讲中文的朋友，因为我们这个组织华裔美军护援会的成立的宗旨，就是让很多的家长跟我们军人在美国参军的华裔军人，可以知道有一个共同的组织，把我们做的事迹，不管是您在这个战争中献出了生命，或者你为这个国家做出了贡献，或者你就是参加了。结束了你的在那个军旅的生涯，我们都希望把这些故事汇总在一起，让历史知道我们华人在美国也能参军，不仅能做其他的事情。谢谢大家。Next, we go into some interesting story here. Not only you see men joining the service from the Asian American side, you also have ladies, female, women. Big girls. You have military doctors. You have people as a soldier who fighting the war zone just like men do. And for that, we want to recognize more people. She actually joined, her name is Crystal. She joined 203 and have a 2 years tour in Iraq and come back okay and doing a lot of things for us. Right here we have another soldier, Ellen Chen, and maybe the other soldier all together. You can see this is a real war we're fighting on. Some of the soldiers, if you hear the parents are talking about their story, it's so touching. Well, I may not want to say this for the parents. I reserve for the parents to tell you the story too. But sometimes I tell you because of the nature of the business, it's called OPSEC. In other words, there's intelligent things involved. We may not tell you too much, but eventually the public will know and how we do over there in the war zone. You can see they do patrol, they do tree finding, they do a lot of construction workers in Iraq, just like you hear the rest of the news. I believe a lot of people come back with a positive image for what we're doing and do not link an individual soldier to the overall war strategy. I know some community member, especially in Chinese, they may have a different view of the war, but that's not our problem. Our problem is doing our job, fighting for the country, and for that, I think we deserve a great recognition from the community. This is when I introduced parents. Her son right here, work 10, used to work in Iraq, and you wanted to share a little bit story about your parents. You can say in Chinese, no problem.
OK， 我儿子，他在那个伊拉克前线那个长官去检查工作，这个是他在伊拉克跟小朋友照的，这个是那个 Hollywood 的影星也是长官，你看这个是长官去前线慰问他们，这个呢是他们刚刚到，就是最早的时候刚开战的时候的那个战壕，也是住的地方。就是这么简单的，就是这么简单的。
So it looks so simple, but that's their hotel, four-season hotel. It's really four seasons, any seasons. Okay, we see this is look like a Great War place in Iraq. Here you see other soldiers where they do humanitarian, service for the local populations. This is a lieutenant in the Marine Corps. Actually, his father's right here. John, you want to talk about your son? We have our member, our board member, John Fu. He used to be a pilot, but now he's supporting his son in all kinds of different military options. Your son returned safely. So tell us.
Yeah, Lawrence he was a major on biology. He was a 204 graduate from UCI. During the time the Iraqi war, United States thinking there's a chemical, biological war in the Iraq, so they went to UCI, San Diego, to asking those major in biologists, the student who can join the Marine. So that's why in the time, Lawrence, 3 months before he graduated, he said he wanted to go to Marine Corps. Well, of course, I'm worried about it. But I was soldier before. My father was soldier before. So I think, if somebody want to, serve the country, nothing wrong with it. So I said, just go ahead. So I thought maybe it's hard to pass in boot camp test. But finally he passed. Then he training, after 10-month training, he be transferred to the 29 Palm in California. In 2 months, deported to Iraq. This is the first time I went there, was a second lieutenant. The second time he became a captain.
I know that all the young kids, the soldier, sometimes say joining the military is so proud and so interesting. But I want to say this: as I have spent 20 years in the military, I know the parents is really our backbone. Without the parents' support, nobody can do this kind of job. And especially with the Chinese tradition, usually they don't want their son going into a war, but John did it. And he not only won, he did a couple times. So I would, for that, I want to say thank you, John, for you to serve our country and supporting this.
Also, this is an interesting picture. This is this person, his father was a professor of USC, but he's a Marine, not only a Marine. From the Marine, he joined a special force called reconnaissance team. That's very hard, like a Navy SEAL. He did a very good job during the time in the Iraqi war. That's one of his picture.
You heard about the SEAL team that catch, the big guy, Osama bin Laden. But they did the same thing. They catch his younger brother. They did an awesome thing, just sometimes not in the news. But for that, don't forget about our people, wear different uniforms. We've done about this soldier in the war zone. The next section is a little history about the Chinese and the American military cooperation. And, John is also an expert on that. He spent a lot of time to collecting the data for the General Doolittle. Remember this movie in Pearl Harbor? How the U.S., bombing the Tokyo and get landed in China. So he has some story about that.
Okay, let's walk over and learn about General James Doolittle. The history behind that.
The last year we have one of the meeting. So one lady called Jonah Doolittle, they made it, Arthur Fun and me and my son, Captain Lawrence Fu. Suddenly he mentioned his father was James Doolittle, because my son's grandpa, my father, this one, is the one who built runway in 1942. Of course, we haven't born yet. So such coincidence, then we put all story together, made a lot of pilot, Air Force people from Republic of China. Then in August, we set up a meeting, invited Jonah Doolittle visiting Taiwan Air Forces for 1 week. And even Taiwan president and commander of Air Forces, we met Jonah. And also he had a speech on Air Force Academy. You know, in 1942, when James Doolittle bombing Tokyo, and then he landed the aircraft in China. This war, this area is very important in the China history, because if after bombing Tokyo, Japanese suddenly realized, wow, somebody can attack our homeland. So after 2 months, he attacked James Doolittle attacked Tokyo. They withdraw 250,000 troops from China, from South Asia. Otherwise, we're going to rewrite history.
I know, John, that you've written a book about this, and I hope that we can have you return to the library and actually talk about your book a little bit more.
Yeah, sometime I like to too. You know, I think all the young people, young children, should know about a story. What their last generation has been done. You know, those Doolittle, they have 80 people. Before the takeoff bombing Tokyo, they know only 50% survival rate, but they still want to go. Look the movie. They describe it in the movie, right?
Actually, John was also in charge of putting a movie together for this Doolittle story. For that, I'm not yet, but I'm saying I'm very anxious and cannot wait to see that. Really looking forward some real-time war story. I think there will be the Pearl Harbor tell a part of the story, but what happened after Pearl Harbor? And all the soldiers landed in China by accident, but what happened after that? This is what he's doing.
That's great. That's great. Okay, well, I noticed that we have all these hats.
Those are all my hats. When I serve in different ships and a different branch, I buy in different hats. Some of the hats I wearing on the daily basis. This is the one I'm working on the frigates. This is a aircraft carrier. This is a DDG, another fighters, and this is what I'm currently working at. So all those things mean something to me in the future. And of course, we just want to encourage the public. Every show we're doing across San Gabriel Valley, we do have some section for people to do donation. We need a little bit more money to put this out in more cities and more locations. Sometimes we are telling we'll get more photos. Each photo takes people and time to put together. And somehow, at the end of this show, we're going to leave some of the nice photo in the museum. There is all kinds of museums asking for us to give them the show materials. So for that, you're just expecting there will be some permanent display in the future. And hopefully the part of this history will be recorded in the history book in the States forever.
Well, that's wonderful. I know that we have another part of the display, Return Warriors, downstairs in the main lobby in the library. So we're going to go take a look at that and have you say share some information about that.
Sure.
Okay?
Let's see.
We're here in the main lobby of the Monterey Park Bruggemar Library with the Return Warriors photo show that will be here for a month. We're really excited because we're the first library to actually have this show through the Chinese American military support. Barry, what can you tell us about this show?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you as a library in Monterey Park and give us this opportunity to show the audience and the community so many photos we collect. The Return Warrior show just started. We're going to grow. So you will see just a very small collection of our photos, but give you an idea how Asian, especially Chinese American, are fighting in different places in the war zone and in the peacetime as well. Some of the photos have description in the bottom, but I want to go over a few. And there is a photo here, as a real photo we're taking when the Marine was this is the first time when they started to go to Baghdad in Iraq. Some of the soldiers, our members, they're fighting the war for us. Things like that. We know it's a part of the history. We don't want the public to forget about it. And in Taiwan, we just have this thing published. It's called Asian American Military Support, the War Story in Iraq. This is already published in Taiwan and soon will be in mainland China. And there's magazines like that. And you can see how Chinese American wearing U.S. military uniform and mingling with the local population down there and doing the job the nation asks them to do. So for that, I just want everybody, when you walk into the library for this month, what is November? The month of remember. So we're picking this great month to start with this show. Hopefully everybody will remember our soldiers. Oh, by the way, this is a 1,000 pieces of puzzle and introduce all the aircraft carrier history. My 10 years old daughter put this together, and just for fun, we'll put it up there as well. I just want to say thank you to the audience. And again, this show just started. You will see us in different places, and I really wish you can support all the way with us. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Barry. Can you welcome people in Chinese to come and visit this exhibit during the month of November and into December?
我用中文再讲一下啊，谢谢大家对我们华裔美军的支持。我们这个展览会在 Monterey Park 的图书馆要举行1个月，在11月份，希望你能够到图书馆来，在大楼1楼的大厅看一下我们的这些照片，同时也对我们表示支持。希望在其他地方我们举办的时候，也能够得到你们将来永远的支持。谢谢大家。